So let us know where you are zooming in from. All right, so now we are going to go actually all the way to the other side of the world. Okay, we're going to go to Nigeria, West Africa now. All right, and we are going to hear from a gentleman who is making waves all over the world. Making waves all over the world. I met him probably about a couple years ago now on Zoom. He's doing a lot of great things. I'm not going to talk about what he talks about because I'm still in his thunder. But just safe to say that he's changing a lot of lives with his message. And that's why I invited him to speak to you today, so you can get some nuggets and you can apply what he teaches today. All right. So without further ado, let me bring to the stage my good friend Zion Anogru. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. And Leah, I must say that was more than a golden nugget you dropped. That was so spot on. And I'm sure, man, we are all learning from what you shared. And yes, it's so good to be here on another amazing Monday morning like this, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. Truly, we appreciate you. You are our superstars. And for the fact that you are here, it makes us want to speak. I want to share deep insight with you. For those who don't know me, my name is Zion Inogeru. As Mr. Eric has said, I'm joining you all the way from West Africa, Nigeria. I'm a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time. I coach people on positivity and mentor people on positivity, knowing fully well that we are in a world where negativity is gaining ground every day. But then to intentionally embrace positivity, it's not negotiable. And that's why all my message is based on the foundation of positivity. And today's topic, accountability strategy for business success. I tell you, any business who desires success must be a business that is accountable for itself, accountable for its workers. And I'm going to share with you 4 diamond tips. I know Leah shared 3 good tips. I'm going to be sharing 4 diamond tips. One, now for any business to experience success through accountability, if there's one thing I've known, it's the business should have a vision. A vision. A vision is very, very important. Not just having a vision, the ability for you to communicate your vision, it's key because you cannot hold people accountable to what they do not know. You cannot hold people accountable to what they cannot see. So for every business, you have a vision, you have a goal. So the ability to have that, it's key. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of direction and allows you to be aligned with what you want to achieve. So having a vision is key for your business. So for no matter the kind of business you have, you must have a clear vision. And it doesn't just end there. Learn to communicate. Learn to communicate. Make it let people understand it in a simple term. That's how you can hold them accountable. This is what I want. This is what we want to achieve. This is our goal for the next 1 month, for the next 2 months, for the next 3 months. And then everybody is in alignment with that to achieve that. So a clear vision is key. Even the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. That's the power of vision. And it's not just about life, also in business, it works. Secondly, accountability is a mindset. I will say that again. Accountability is a mindset. It's a positive mindset, a mindset that everyone should have. Yes, we talk about business accountability, but a business does not run itself. It is the people that makes the business what it is. And it is important that every individual in a business, you are first accountable to yourself because it is from the individual accountability that creates business accountability. So everyone in business, you are an employee of labor, you have people working under you, you are a leader. First, be accountable to yourself. You must make a decision today because it's a mindset. Make a decision to accountability. Because if you do not decide to be accountable, you're going to live your life anyhow. So a mindset that everyone in any organization should have. Knowing for the fact that you are responsible for your actions, you are responsible for your decisions, and you are responsible for the consequences that comes. When people begin to have this mindset, it rubs off in the entire dealings and workings of the organization. The third point is when it comes to being accountable as a business, There's something I call the consequences system, or the consequences network. Everyone needs to know that whatever action you are taking, whatever decision you are taking, you are accountable for it. You are going to get a reward. If you are doing well, you are accountable for doing well. If you are not doing well, you're accountable for not doing well. So making people to have that consciousness where they know that their action is being watched, is being monitored, is being studied, is being taken note of, it will put people in a place where they want to give their best. Reward people. When people are doing great things, reward them. When people are not doing what they should be doing, also reward them. No consequences for doing good or for not doing good. When people know that there's consequences for what they do, they will sit upright and be accountable for the action I want to give their best. And lastly, for the further motive I'm sharing today, is having an accountability partner. This is something most people do not do. Sometimes we get complacent with ourselves, but having that person who you are accountable to, who will always question you, who will always ask you questions, who will remind you of what you should do, it's key. It's key. It can be a mentor, it can be a coach, it can be a friend, it can be someone you trust, who will always remind you of what you need to do. Because people like this in our life, their importance can never be overemphasized. I know you might be good all by yourself, you might be a superstar, but having people to support you is key. Because every day you might not be your best. Every day you might not have that energy. Every day you might not have that passion, that enthusiasm to do what you need to do. But having somebody to always check up on you, call you, you know, hold you accountable for your actions, for your words, for your doing, it's key. It's key. And I encourage everyone, accountability is not negotiable. Whether in your personal life, in your professional life, embracing accountability is key to growth. And never forget, it's a mindset, a positive mindset that you can embrace. And when you decide to embrace accountability as a mindset, I assure you, you are opened up to so much possibilities that await you. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I yield my back to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome, awesome. Wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much, Zion. Another page full of notes. We appreciate you for your wisdom and always bringing the value. All right, so I see more people are commenting, which is great, but there's still a lot of people that haven't yet. So I still want you guys to do it. I want all of you to let us know where you're zooming in from. So we have people from all over the world. Okay, we have Malik is in the house. Dr. Daniel's in the house. Let's see. Eric Doby from Hartford is in the house. Paulette is here. Harumi from Columbus is in the house. We have Awugo. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Who else? Uh, Guanyama's in the house from Cameroon. Good to see you. Let's see. Adaobi, I think Adaobi from United Kingdom is in the house. Ayo Adev is in the house. Welcome. Oh man, we have so many people. But you know what? I don't care if 100 people comment. I'm gonna shout you all out. Okay, if I can't pronounce your name, I'm gonna try my best. Right? Keep on coming. I'll get it better next time. Right? Okay. So we're gonna keep on moving with this incredible topic of accountability. Again, think about your questions, put them in the chat. Start with the word question so I know it's a question, and then put your question in the chat. Okay. All right, so we're going to keep moving. So we were in Nigeria, West Africa. Now we're flying all the way to Europe to hear from our next speaker. Now, this gentleman knows a lot about accountability. And I met him years ago. I hate to say how many years, because I always say like 2 years, and then the person like, I've known you for 5 years, Eric. So I don't say the number of years, because I'm off by like 3 years every time. So I've known him for a while, and he got me to be accountable on LinkedIn, right? He got me to be accountable on LinkedIn because I was thinking of doing these things called the audio rooms, right? I've heard about them. Right. So because he's the guru, right? So I contacted him, and we set up a date, and I'm asking him all these questions. So, okay, so how do I do this? And how do I do this? And he said, don't worry, I got you. Don't just show up and you're good. I'm like, okay, all right. Because you can be great at one thing but be a novice in something else, right? Yeah, yeah. I was speaking on large stages, but I didn't know anything about audio room, so I was a little nervous. Yeah. So, but he helped me out. He helped me out, right? So they call him the fame expert. Why? Because he makes you famous. He made me famous here on LinkedIn, and I've met so many people from this platform. I now have, I think, 12,000 people, and part of it is because of what he helped me with. So he helps you, he makes you famous, he helps you with your marketing, right? It's a marketing genius. So without further ado, Any Usong, the floor is yours.
You're far too kind. You have me blushing, Eric. Thank you so much for your kind words. So of course, Queen Leah and Mr. Z, amazing tips you've shared so far. I was thinking, what am I going to say today? What am I going to say, given that you've covered everything? But no, look, this is a huge topic, right? I think that being accountable, being the person that says, that's on me, I will get it done. That's what we're talking about, really. And I think we're very good at thinking about accountability for other people, for our staff, for our contractors, for people, even our customers. We think that they have to do something. But I think accountability starts with us. As Mr. Z said, it's a mindset, right? If we're not accountable to ourselves, we can't expect anyone else to be accountable for anything we do, right? I think that's I think you mentioned that, Queen Leah, for sure. I said, many of us, we say we're going to do something and then we lose our way. We lose our way somewhere, right? It doesn't get done. And then we start blaming everything and everyone, and apart from ourselves. I think that's our common mistake. But I think that it's easily fixed. Now, of course, today, the tips you hear today is what we're hoping will get you there. I guess the best way I can describe accountability for me, the way I view it, is almost like going on a journey. Now, let's say I'm going to go and see my sister. She lives 5 hours away, up country, right? We say up country in England. Now, there was on the map, she's up country. I'm down that bottom, she's at the top, right? So let's say I'm going to go and see my sister. That takes a lot of doing, and I have to be accountable to actually get there on the day, right? So this is the model I use for accountability for everything. Again, that's been said already. I need clarity. What am I going to do? What? When? And how do I know I've done it? It's quite easy, right? If I don't make it to my sister's place, I haven't done what I said I would do, right? And also that, of course, I need to know what day I'm going to go, right? I can't just wake up and just go on any day. So clarity is everything, and so clarity in our minds as well. We know what we're committing to. We know, maybe a bit about how we're going to get there. You have a rough plan. I'm not one to make step-by-step plans on paper. I know in my head what needs doing, right? And if I have to write it down, I'll write it down. But essentially, again, let's go back to the journey thing. I know roughly the direction I'm going to go in. I'm going to start here, and then I'll take the next step, right? That's how we'll get anything done. Now, but if you're not clear and if you don't know how you're going to do it, you're going nowhere. Don't be surprised when the wind blows you off course. I said the wind, but anything can blow you off course because you're not mentally prepared for the reality of doing what you say you do. And that reality for most of us in business is, we're going to face hurdles. I won't say struggles. We're going to face challenges, right? Things will get in our way. We'll never have enough time. Have you noticed that we'll never have enough time? We never have enough people who can do what we want. So when you have clarity, I think you have an idea of how you're going to get there. And as Zion called it, having that vision, right? Once you have that vision, you begin to make your way towards your goals. You know mentally what you're going to face. So I said, of course, with all of that, you have to be willing to, I guess, look at your beliefs. Really, do you believe you can do this? Do you believe that it's you who can do this? Do you believe that you have enough? Of course, if you need to learn some more, I'm sure you will, right? But if you don't believe you're that person, you have no hope. Sorry, I hate to break the bad news to you, right? You have to truly believe that you are that person who can do it. And that belief runs deep. So that's where you're accountable to yourself. Again, Mr. Z and Queen Leah mentioned compensation. If you don't do it, what do you lose? If you do it, what do you win? How is this going to change your life? Do you really want to do this? I think that's it. That's at the heart of this conversation, my friends. Accountability, it's all about whether you truly want to do this. There's many things I say, Eric, I'm going to do. I don't, because I was never going to do it. I mean, being honest with ourselves matters, right? If you're going to do it, say so. If you're not going to do it, just tell yourself, don't waste time on the things you're never going to finish, right? Don't waste time on those. Do what you say you're going to do and commit to the things that are really important to you. So the last I would say is tell someone. The moment I call my sister and say, I'm coming on Saturday, it's fixed. I have no choice almost. You get the idea. I have no choice. I have to go, right? So tell someone, as I mentioned, coach, mentor. I think tell yourself primarily, I'm going to do this on this day. And tell a friend. Tell people online. Tell them I'm going to do this on this day. Maybe you don't, but at least you have a guide, right, to actually get you there. That's what I was saying, my friends. Eric, that's me for now. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. $2 million worth of golden nuggets right there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. All right. So we are going to keep it going. We have a lot more people here. We have Calm. Oh, that's a great name. Calm, right? Calm is here. Welcome. Professor Roxana, welcome. Oh my goodness. We have so many people here. So keep putting your questions in the chat. We're going to get to it in a second. But I want to share a few tips. Now, I used to put myself in this situation where I have notes and I'm ready to share. And then I go to my speakers and then they share everything I was ready to share. And I'm like, oh, I need to throw these notes away. I need to just talk about something else. But now I've decided to still talk about what I plan to talk about, because sometimes some of you need to hear it twice, or you need to hear it in a different way, right? Because a lot of times we hear something one time and it goes in one ear and out the other, but then you hear from a different person, you're like, oh wow, my mom used to tell me, and my mom's still alive, but she used to tell me, because we used to, when I was younger, she would say, all these things I've been telling you, and then you hear from your friend, and then now you're doing it. You're like, I've been telling you this since you were a little boy, right? So, but sometimes you need to hear from somebody else, right? All right. So I'm gonna give you 3 tips. Like, this is so powerful. I feel like I should charge you all for this, because I'm giving you tips based on my life, tips that have helped me in my life, right? Have a lot of success in business. It's not ChatGPT stuff. This is real, what I'm about to tell you, okay? Number 1, in order to be accountable, you must set short-term goals. Short-term goals. Let me give you an example. I talk to speakers, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs every day. And when I ask for their goals, some of them say, well, my long-term goal is to make this much money, $100,000 a year, or whatever it is, right? This is my goal. So, but I said, okay, so what's your goal for this week? This week, well, I don't really have a goal for the week, right? I said, well, then forget about your long-term goals. I'm like, what? Yeah. If you don't have daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, throw away those long-term 2-year, 5-year, 10-year goals. Throw them away. It doesn't even matter, right? You have to have daily goals. All right. And those daily goals will help you accomplish your weekly goals, which will help you accomplish your monthly goals. All right. So make sure you do that. And the day before, so like yesterday, I set my goals for today yesterday. So I don't just wake up and say, okay, so where will the wind take me? Right. So you want to have daily goals. All right. Number 2, and these are in order of importance, by the way. So it gets more and more important. Number 2 is to track your progress. Track your progress. I track everything. Right? Because if you don't track your progress, you may be going in circles for years and you don't even know. You have to track your progress. So, in online marketing, some of the things that you must do to be successful is you must build a following, right? You must build a following on your social media. Also build an email list, right? Because an email list you own. You don't even own your following online, but you own your email list, right? So every day people are opting into my email list. from my lead magnets, my events, all of that, right? So every month I track my new followers on all my social media. Every month I track my the new opt-ins on my email list, right? I'm tracking that. I'm tracking everything to see where I'm going and how fast I'm going. Because if it dips, that means I'm doing something wrong, right? So you must track. Here's another thing I track. Listen to this. I track IPA. What's IPA, Eric? IPA. I've talked about this before, and I'm going to share it with you again. Income producing activity. Write that down, star it, bold it. Income producing activity. You can be an entrepreneur and not look. You can make an unlimited amount of money in entrepreneurship, right? There's no ceiling, but there's no floor either. There's no floor. You can make absolutely nothing. Why? Because you're doing all these things that don't make money. I need to work on my website. I need to, what? I need to tweak my offer. Right. I need to get on more training calls. Right. I need to get on. I need to get another book club. I need to get in another book club. Right. And you're going all over in circles, but you're not making any money because you're not doing anything to make money. So guess what I do? This is weird, but weird makes you rich. Every day I write down at the end of the day, what did I do to make money today? Right? Because somebody said, well, money is not everything. It's not, but it's up there with oxygen, right? Right? Money's not everything, but hey, it helps you out in life, right? I've been broke and I've had a lot of money, and having a lot of money actually is better. At least for me. I don't know about for you, but for me, it's better. It gives my family peace of mind, right? So you want to track what you do. Don't just set the goals, but track it. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, the most important. We have come to the most important point of accountability. Oh my goodness. I'm excited for you. If you're about to jump off, don't jump off. This is not the time. All right. The number one thing you can do in your business, in your life, regarding accountability is to have external accountability. Tell somebody what you're going to do and let them hold you accountable. Nothing better than that. And I've heard it from others today. Nothing better than that. You have to, if you don't tell people what you're going to do, and nobody knows. If you don't do it, nobody knows. And you didn't hold yourself accountable and you didn't move forward. Now, you may feel good that nobody knows you didn't do it, but you're not moving forward. So you know what I do? I share my goals with people. I'm in 2 masterminds, right? So I have the mastermind, basically a group of people that we meet every month, and I'm sharing my goals with them. This is what I'm going to accomplish. So if I don't, they'll be like, Eric, what happened? I thought you said you were going to do this. And then some of you may not know this, but the wonderful Coral from across the pond is my personal assistant. Okay. And she does an incredible job at keeping me accountable. She'll send me a message. Eric, you said you're going to do this today. What's going on? Well, she doesn't say it that way, but in her own way, in Coral's way. What happened? Right. You said we're going to start this campaign today. When are we starting? Right. You were going to send me something. You haven't sent it yet. That's holding me accountable, right? So that's another thing. You want to surround yourself with people that will hold you accountable. So I'm going to give you another one. So last year, when we came back for our vacation, I told my family that, you know what, next year we're going to go to Jamaica. They're like, really? Like, yeah. I said, I picked a place. It's called the Moon Palace. It's all inclusive. 6 restaurants, 5 pools, and I'm showing them all this. Like, they're so excited. Next year we're going to Jamaica. Now, at the time, I haven't booked a spot. I didn't actually have the money at the time to do it, but I figured I will make the money to do it. And as the time got closer, I'm like, oh, I promised them this. I have to make it happen. And guess what? We went. We just came back last week, right? Beautiful trip, right? But my point is, by putting it out there, I did what it took to get there, to accomplish it. Had I not put it out there, I would have I could have just said, you know what? Nobody knows. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. I'll give myself an out, but I couldn't. How am I going to explain to my kids, right? So now some of you may be thinking, well, what if it doesn't work out? Now you're embarrassed. That's the whole reason why you're saying it. That's the reason. That's the reason, right? You got to push yourself, right? There's so much that we can do that we don't know we can do it because we never pushed ourselves. You got to push us. Look, I rented a hall to do an event once. I paid $8,000 to rent this hall, and I wasn't even sure how I'm going to get people to come there. And people are like, why would you do that, Eric? Because I knew that would push me forward, right? And I had to make the calls. I had to talk to the people. I had to all the things came into place, and I ended up making money. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have even started, right? So that is the number one tip. Tell people, tell somebody that can hold you accountable. All right. So those are my 3 tips. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I always clap for myself too, because there's a time when I started in business and nobody clapped for me. So I learned that you got to clap for yourself until some people start clapping for you, right? And I still clap for myself. All right. So we're going to keep on going. Welcome, Joanne. Good to see you. All right. So we are going to get to the questions. But before that, one thing that I've decided to do since the last meeting, because I know some people have to jump off, they have to go to school, they have to go to work. So at this time, we're going to go around the room real quick so everybody can tell the group how they can reach them, right? If you want to reach them or get their ebook or whatnot, and then we'll get into the questions. All right. So first of all, let me just let everybody know, for those of you that don't know, I'm a sales coach, and I've been a sales coach for many years, and I've sold over 30 something million dollars worth of products and services. I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I have a coaching program starting tomorrow. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about it, go to compassionatecloser.com. compassionatecloser.com. You'll be able to, number one, download my free ebook. They'll give you, tips on sales. You'll be able to learn more about my coaching program and book a call if you want to. But if you want to do it, you have to do it today. It's not a sense of urgency trick. It's just that it starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, right? It starts tomorrow. So if you have any interest in that, compassionatecloser.com, call if you can put it in the chat. All right. So let's go around the room. Ladies first. Leah, tell us how anybody can reach you, or if you have anything you want to share.
Yeah, well, my best social media is LinkedIn. You can also scan my QR code down there and book a coffee chat. And you can also download my free one-page financial plan, The Wall of Wealth, and take my financial quiz and get your score. I also help host Wealthy Wednesday every week. I'm always looking for entrepreneurs, business owners, for guest speaking opportunities. If you're interested, I would love to have a coffee chat with you. And that's what I'd like to share, Eric. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And by the way, let me hold myself accountable. I'm going to be on your show. Okay. So hold me to that, Leah. I'm going to be on your show. You guys don't see me there in the next few weeks. Say, Eric, what happened? I thought you said you're going to be on Leah's show. All right. So that's a practical example of accountability. All right. Who'd like to go next? Anybody? Annie, you're speaking, but you're muted.
If Zion's gonna go next. Okay. All right, let me do my quick. My friends, look, the way I help people is what I get to do every day. Thank goodness. Which is help people to write their books, publish their books, and sell their books. So now my unique gift is to make the ability to make people bestsellers on Amazon, guaranteed. If you got a book that's not selling, let's talk. My LinkedIn profile is the best place to meet me. All my events, but I'm sharing my profile in the link in the comments. So connect with me. Let's meet. Let's see how you can help me and how I can help you.
Awesome. Thank you. Zion, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Yes, for those who want to reach out to me, you need somebody to hold you accountable to staying positive. It's very important. You can do it to reach out to me. I'm always on LinkedIn, Zion Inogeru. I host my positivity event every Friday, and it's been on for years now, and it's an event you do not want to miss. and you want to host your own event as well, you want to put yourself in the front of your target audience, you want to speak on a stage like this, do it to reach out to me so we can help you host your event. So thank you so much, everyone. I eat my back to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go to some questions. Let's go to some questions here. We have like 5 or so questions, so we're gonna go through them pretty quickly. All right, so Coral says, how do you stay accountable when no one is watching? How do you stay accountable when no one's watching? Who would like to share? Okay, go ahead, Annie.
Laugh because I tend to work when no one's watching at night, when everyone's asleep. You know, I think it comes back to that commitment I mentioned earlier. You know, you commit to what you're trying to achieve, and set the goal and commit to it. You know, everything I do is thankfully my choice, really. So once I commit to doing it, I have to do it, and I have to do it in a time that works for me, the time I plan mentally to do this. And it's usually when everyone's asleep. There's a saying, right? It's what you do when no one's looking that really counts. And that's what I truly believe, Coral.
Yes, awesome. Leah, go ahead.
Yes, tracking. If you're making phone calls, have a way to track your phone calls. Because a lot of times when you ask entrepreneurs what they're doing, they'll just say, I'm busy, or I worked hard. I was at the office all day long, 18 hours a day. But what did you actually do? What are the results, right? Were you just in the office watching video games? So tracking what you're doing. What you track expands. But then add the reporting to it, which is that accountability partner. So great question.
Awesome. Azan, did you want to share? Did you share already?
Yes, I want to say something. Thank you so much. Earlier when I was speaking, I said something that accountability is a mindset that starts with you. When nobody's watching, you have it. So it's something you need to have. And one practical step I use, to keep myself accountable is I set reminders. If I need to do something by this time, I set a reminder. I set multiple layers of reminder because sometimes one reminder cannot do it. I set multiple layers of reminder to remind me I need to do this at this time. I need to call this person. I need to reach out to this person. I need to get this done at this point in time. So setting reminders and getting a journal where you write things down that you can easily go back to and read it or remember. It's something I do that keeps me accountable even when no one else is watching.
Absolutely appreciate that. And that reminds me too. You know how like Facebook and all these platforms, they send you a notification that says something like, well, someone you're connected to is saw a video of somebody else, like all this information that really doesn't really matter. So here's the thing. Your notifications should be notifications that actually help you, right? That move you forward. I shut all those down. I get notified when someone wants to meet with me. I get notified when someone buys something from one of my links, right? I get like those are the important notifications. Don't get all distracted. I'm reading a book called The Power of Focus right now. It's powerful, that book, The Power of Focus. This is just by the way. Yeah, you need to be focused because you can go all over the place. Oh, Johnny just checked out my video. I don't think it doesn't matter. Like yeah, it's good, but if you're doing that all day, you're just distracting yourself, right? You're distracting yourself. So, all right. So I don't know how I got there, but anyway, let's go. Next question. I'm just an open book. I like whatever comes out of my mind, I just comes out of my mouth. It's ridiculous. Anyway, you guys always know what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? All right. So let's see. Another question. I know. Hold on one second. I know. I think we had Paulette ask a question. I can't find it. Okay. So let's go to. Okay. Well, if I can't find that one, I'll go with the one that Carl asked. Okay. Here's another one. Okay. What's one daily or weekly habit you use to hold yourself accountable as an entrepreneur? A daily or weekly habit. Yes, I like that. Leah, go ahead.
Well, one thing is Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he's come up a lot today. He says never end a day till it's finished on paper. So I always download my day. I give myself credit. 3 things I did well, 3 things that I can improve on, right? I give myself 3 gratitude and the top 3 for the next day. But also, I would add to that is we have to get away from, in my humble opinion, is just saying we're being accountable to ourselves. Eric talked about it, Annie talked about it, Zion touched on it, is that we have to find people to be accountable who are above us, who are higher in income, higher in your business, they are higher than you. Because if you have people that are your level, it's static. And if they're below you, they're going to pull you down. So you have to, I know it's uncomfortable, but we got to eat our vegetables. Remember, this is our Brussels sprouts and broccoli of our business. So hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
Awesome. Appreciate it. All right. Who else? Anybody else?
Yeah. So I'm have to speak. I think for me, it's the other way, Queen Leah, where I start my day with my goals. I think it's easy to forget. As Eric said, we've got big goals, but those big goals only happen when we achieve the little goals along the way, right? So every day I remind myself why I'm doing this. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? But I have to write it out. I write it all down. So I remind myself of my goals, and then I meditate on them, right? And meditation is just it's playing through in my head how this is going to happen, what it looks like, what it feels like, all the things we talked about, right? And then what should I actually start with, what should I actually have to do today and this week, and then so we go on, right?
Yes. Powerful. Powerful. Thank you so much. Zan, did you want to share?
Yes. One thing I do every day as an habit is journaling. Journaling has really helped me a lot. I journal down my goals for the week or my goals for the month just to keep myself accountable and to remind myself every day. Now, beyond just writing it on books, I paste them on the walls so that I can see them always. My eyes can catch them. Okay, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do this. So these are some of the daily or weekly habits I do. Journaling and putting them in a place where I can see them in a pictorial view to always remind myself what I need to do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny, I do the same thing. I have a board up there, I put it on my computer, my phone, to stay focused, right? You got to stay focused. That IPA thing, let me tell you why it's so big for me. Because I'm a giving person, right? I like to just help people, whether you pay or not. Like I just giving person. And I found myself just giving, and I wasn't focusing on making money. And when you're a full-time entrepreneur, that means 100% of your income is what you use to pay your mortgage, to pay for the kids to go to school, to pay for the car note, all of that. It's a different level. Like if you're not making money at the end of the month, you're like, wait, what happened? Right? So you got to be serious. So, and I wasn't doing what I need to do. So one of the daily things I do, like I said, IPA. What did I do today to make money? Right? If you meet with somebody face to face on a Zoom about your product or service, that's IPA, right? IPA, right? But if you're just tweaking your website and changing the colors of your branding, that's not IPA. You can do that. You're supposed to, but you should also do some IPA that day. 80% of your time should be selling or marketing what you do. Write that down. If you're doing like 50% or 20%, you're not making much money. I can already tell you that. All right. Let's keep on moving. I know Paulette had a question. Why is it important to have accountability when you're getting results and not getting results? Why is it important to have accountability? I guess whether you're getting results or not. Let me put it that way. Whether you're getting results or not. Why is it important to have it? Okay, I think we spoke to this, but anybody that wants to share, we can talk about it for a few minutes. Who else?
I would just add this. That's a great question, Paula, and it's great to really highlight this again. Accountability is an NTN. It's a no talent needed. A lot of people think that you've got to be really skilled to have success. I've watched people who are very talented make no money. They're just broke because they're talented. It comes so easy. Sometimes I think that it's almost a curse if things come too easy. The people who have the grit, who are willing to be accountable and be coachable and teachable. If you're coachable and teachable and accountable, you're going to outpace, you're going to outwin everybody. So great way to highlight that, Paulette.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Anybody else? Go ahead, Annie.
Mrs. Z, are you going to speak?
No, go ahead after you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Look, I think accountability says a lot more about us than it sounds. I mean, to say it's on me, I take responsibility. If it doesn't, I take the blame, I take the credit. That says a lot about who we are as people, right? So the last thing we want in business, that's what we don't want, to be that person who doesn't deliver, who doesn't achieve what they set out to achieve. So when we become that person who, see, we'll talk about the price of accountability and the rewards you get. So the biggest reward is that being that, knowing within yourself you're that person who does what they say they're going to do, on time, on budget, as best you can. So that's where we want to get to. Now, to tell yourself anything else, you're shooting yourself in the foot, literally. If imagine waking up every day and saying to yourself, "Oh, I let myself down again." After a while, it begins to affect you. It begins to, you begin to believe you're that person who can never do, right? And you don't want to be that person who never does. And the only way to do it, to not to be that person, is to dare to set goals, dare to give yourself the challenges, dare to ride the waves, dare to fail sometimes, yes. Let yourself down sometimes, learn a lesson. But if you just quit on yourself, what can I say, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Zan, did you want to share?
Yes. Now, if there's one thing I've learned about accountability is that it has to be sustainable. You have to think longevity, you have to think prosperity. So whether you are being successful or not, accountability should become an habit, not a one-off action. People are accountable because they want to get this success. When the success is gotten, they forget about accountability. It should never be like that. Accountability should be an habit. It should become part of you. Whether things go well or doesn't go well, you know that you are a person who is accountable. So it should become a personality to you. So that's my response to that question. Don't just do it as a show up or as a one-time thing. Always think longevity and sustainability, because you might not need it today, you are going to need it tomorrow. Whatever it is, keeping yourself accountable, it's very, very important and it's non-negotiable. So thank you so much, Mr. Eric. I yield my back.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One thing I think about when I think of your question is this. When you're getting results, you want to build upon that. So you want to keep staying accountable, right? So I wrote, so this book right here is called The Home Business Boom. I wrote this about 5 years ago, okay? And before I wrote it, I joined a group of authors, right? These guys have sold a lot of books and, written a lot of books. So because I wanted to be around people that do this, because I didn't know how to write a book. I hadn't met any who else would write books at the time, right? So I held myself accountable by getting in a group of people that would hold me accountable to write the book. I wrote the book, and through the book, I got people that bought the book that became clients of my sales coaching program. Through some of those people ended up becoming clients in my next business, which was studiospeaking.com, to speak on my stage, right? So, but I never stopped. Like I still work with clients. I'm writing another book. I'm going to release it soon, hopefully. I'm holding myself accountable by telling you about the book. It's a sales book, all right? So anyway, but I keep going, right? Success begets success if you keep going, right? If you keep going. So by the way, it's on Amazon, just by the way, if you want it. A Guide to Creating 10 Multiple Streams of Income. It's on Amazon. All right, pick it up. Bestseller. All right, so anyway, that wasn't the reason I'm doing that. The reason I'm doing that really is to tell you that one success will lead to another, which will lead to another, which will lead to another if you keep yourself accountable. Okay, that's my point. All right. So my good friend Jay's in the house, and Jay asked this question. If you're working with a partner on a project, How can you hold each other accountable without the partnership becoming contentious? Great question. And I have an answer for you, but I'm going to go to my panel first. Leah, would you like to share?
Yeah, great question, storyteller Jay Pascal. So number one is I always ask for permission, right? Would you give me permission to hold you accountable? So you have to have their agreement. And what does that look like? Be very detailed. Are we going to check in once a week? Are we going to check in once a month? And where are you going to do that check-in? Is it on the phone? Are we getting together? Do we have a special place? And if it's a partner in life, like your significant other, you definitely want to have it in a special dedicated place. If it's a business partner, then have a special like meeting room that you have. It's a meeting, right? In other words, probably don't want to go to lunch and be accountable. Have it somewhere that's really professional. And then always do the sandwich, right? My mentor calls it 9 hugs, 1 jab. You got to give them the things that they did good, give them the stretch, and then patch them up, right? I always do the sandwich. So great question.
Awesome.
Hand it back to you, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Annie, would you like to go?
I think like Queen Leah mentioned it just now. I think the question is, do we need an agreement to work together? Yes, we do. Clarity about what I'm gonna do, what you're gonna do, what we do when we have this situation, Jay, where something's contentious. How are we gonna resolve that? Look, we've all been there. We've all done partnerships where we hope everything's gonna go great. It never does, right? Maybe it rarely does. When it goes wrong, everyone feels hurt. The only way to avoid that is to have clarity, to have an agreement of sorts. Even if it's short, at least write down what do we do on the good times, on the not so good times, and when things go wrong. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Zan, did you want to share?
No, I think they said it all. So
Okay.
I'll just go with what you said.
Sounds good. All right. So what I want to share on this is that when you have a partner in business, because I don't currently have a partner in my businesses, but I used to at one point, you have to set ground rules from the beginning. When someone comes with an idea, how do we handle it? How are we going to compromise, or do you get one bite of the apple? In other words, you decide this one and I decide this one, right? You decide what's going to happen, how you're going to treat everything before it arises. That's important. How much money are both of us going to put into the business? How much do we both get from the business, right? When you do that, then it helps. The accountability, like for me, when I meet with someone, I tell them, I say, okay, is it okay with you if I tell you exactly what I feel about anything that happens here? And they're like, yeah, okay. Because I'm going to share with you exactly what's on my mind. And I would appreciate it if you did the same, right? Because then that builds trust, right? That builds trust. If you're partners, you got to trust each other. And you got to know, and that's why you don't choose anybody to be a partner with, right? You want to choose somebody. Actually, you know what? That's a question here. So let me just put up that question. We have 3 minutes. And Adele will be asked this question. How do you choose a good fit as an accountability partner? Great question. We got 3 minutes. And as I was saying before, you have to, number one, choose somebody that pushes you, right? So like Leah said, smarter than you in some areas. They have to be better than you in some areas. You may be better than them in some, but they have to be better than you in some areas to actually, and it has to be someone you respect. If you don't, like, if I don't respect you and you give me advice, it doesn't matter, right? It has to be someone that you actually respect their opinion. All right, round robin. Who'd like to share real quick?
I thought Queen Leah is going to go first. Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Queen
Look,
Leah.
make sure you have someone that you like, someone you trust. Like, I can't say that enough. Someone that you can spend time with, someone that will tell you the truth, right, and vice versa.
Yes,
that's
awesome.
The main criteria I would use.
Awesome. And you said they can reach you on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah. My link's in the comments. So if you want me to send you the link, we put some comments on up. I'll send you the link.
Okay, yeah, put it back in the comments. All right, Leah, go ahead.
Yeah, I look for somebody that's more disciplined than me and really is stronger than me, right? And having success in all the areas, in their faith, their family, their finance, their fitness, their fun, philanthropic, because I believe givers gain, and food, because food costs a lot if you haven't noticed it these days. So this is what I mean by that. If they're really successful in their business, but their home life sucks, they're fighting with their spouse, they're kicking the cat, they're probably not going to be a good accountability partner, because to me, that's not success. It's not congruent. Amazing question.
Yes, awesome. And they can reach you how?
LinkedIn, or they can also click my amazing QR code, download my free one-page financial plan, The Wall of Wealth, and take the financial quiz.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Zion.
Yes, there's a quote that says, success leaves clues, so does failures. Accountability leaves clues as well. So look for people who have clues of accountability, who are tested, who are trusted, that they are accountable. And these are people that can be accountable to you too. So thank you so much. That's my take on that.
Awesome. And we can reach you on LinkedIn. I'm sure you have like 2 million followers now.
Yes.
I'm exaggerating, but you have a lot of followers. Awesome. Appreciate it. All right. So we have 1 minute. I appreciate all of you. By the way, compassionatecloser.com. Grab my free ebook, folks. I spent a lot of time putting it together. It's helped hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs. Grab that. If you want to go to the next level and actually learn from our coaching, which will help you gain confidence selling, help you learn how to create high ticket offers. So if you're selling your stuff at 150, 150, you'll learn how to do it at 1,500 or 2,000. You'll be able to close deals, overcome objections, things of that nature. So anyway, click on that, book a call today if you want to get in tomorrow. And and let's chat. I'll definitely give you some tips. All right. Best way to reach me is LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that, but LinkedIn is best, or Instagram. All right. So appreciate all of you. I like to end on time because some people have to go to work, to school, take pick up the babysitter, whatever it is. So we appreciate all of you. It's 8 o'clock. It has been a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here with you today, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.